In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why men will train and go to the gym, but not necessarily put on muscle, the biggest mistakes that they do, the corrections that they can make, and also why following someone else's 10-year journey and trying to mirror their programs is not going to work for someone who's on level 1, and what you should do instead, and what or how powerlifters can specifically build muscle and some of the mistakes that they make. We're also going to be talking about what programs you should follow, what rep ranges you should probably be applying, and anything else you want to add to that?
I sort of missed a lot of the preamble, but I caught the end, and it sounds like we're going to be covering quite a lot about building muscle and programs and exercise selection and all the nuance that comes with building muscle, right?
Correct. Let's dive into it. So we thought we'd do something a bit different today, guys. Rather than sitting down, we're going to train. So you can see how we train exactly.
I think also this is probably a pretty good session to sort of watch if we're looking at specifically building muscle. This session is very much with hypertrophy in mind. It's the session itself is an upper body, just a general upper body session. So there's a little bit of variation to push pull and some nuance around arm training and stuff like that. But it's very much a muscle building biased session in terms of exercise selection and execution.
Very well said.
And Dan is just literally following suit.
Yeah, I'm following George's program today. So on Thursdays, because I know we're going to be testing out this new format, I thought, just follow George's program. So is this program going to be, because you've been doing this for quite a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, so basically, you do the same?
I'm going to do exactly the same, yeah. How many are you going for? Are we just warming up?
Just warming up, just feel it. Just emphasize range, both in the sort of length and position and shortened. So I've been running sort of higher frequency training for accessories. So I've just been trying to hit everything at least twice a week. And a lot of it has had the same exercise as well. So I've been doing lat pull downs twice a week, rows twice a week. I've been training arms twice a week, and then just added slight different variations to those exercises across the week. And by hitting everything twice a week, I've been bringing the volume down a little bit in terms of only doing 2 sets, but those 2 sets hitting it really, really hard.
So by hard, do you mean you taking things closer to failure?
Yeah, so 1 to 2 RIR pretty much from week 1 to where we are now in the block, which is week 4. So the way I program is I go 4 weeks up, and then the 5th week is a deload.
To my Gen Pop guys who are watching this thinking, what does RIR mean? It's basically an acronym for reps in reserve. So George's saying that he's stopping around 1 to 2 reps shy of failure, essentially.
Correct. So yeah, I've been following that protocol and pushing these really, really hard.
How many reps are you going for?
This is still warming up, so just go by feel. So when I'm warming up, I'm always just focusing on how my body's feeling. So how's my shoulders feeling, how's my pecs feeling, how's my elbows feeling. If I need to do anything a little bit more in terms of warm up, add a little bit more volume to get a bit more blood in the area, then I will. If I feel good, then I'll just sort of stop at that point and then build up to the next. So with warm-ups, it's not about doing loads and loads of work, because by doing loads and loads of work, you'll feel like you'll sort of tax yourself a little bit. You want to try and do enough work to get enough blood into the area, feel like you're prepared, and then save the actual effort for then the working sets.
I had a client recently who he came down to train with me. I asked him, what's the biggest thing that you've learned from working with me? He said, probably the warm-ups. He said he used to come into the gym, hop on the rower for about 5 minutes, go on the cross trainer for 10 minutes, and the bike for 10 minutes just to get warmed up.
Yeah.
It's bro, that's 20 minutes just warming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just cut the session in. You can literally cut or make a warm-up around 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just by mimicking the movements that you're going to be doing, adding a little bit, maybe a foam rolling in there if you need to, adding a bit of band work.
Yeah.
That is it. So many men waste so much time warming up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for my working set now. This is
okay,
going to be
I'll stand behind you and spot it a little bit.
Yeah. How many are we going for?
So the session today, I'm going to go between 6 to 8 reps, but no RIR.
Okay, so just one to 2 RIRs, is it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh,
Fine.
did you
I
put?
helped.
Hang on,
I helped. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
hang on. Have you put 10 on the other side of this
Yeah.
one? Is it?
Yeah.
Why does it feel so? So there's
It's just,
10.
I helped you on the lift off then.
Right,
Like
okay,
there.
makes sense.
And now it's all you, and now you'll feel even.
Oh, it feels really weird. George, you've got 20 down the bottom.
Well, that's you, mate, not me. You. So, for reference, guys, this machine, it's got 3 arms you can load it on. The top, the middle, and the bottom. Dan thought he was taking my 20 off and putting it off. We actually just loaded the bottom.
I was wondering then, why does this feel so hard?
Right.
Don't laugh so. This is serious stuff.
Right, come on, let's go. Nice, man. Good. Easily 2 more. Go again. And again. Nice. So I would say that was 2 RIR.
Yeah, I'd say those are a 2 area.
Good for the viewers to see exertion there.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of, I think again, something that most men, or at least my kind of clients do, maybe not powerlifters, is, and I think it's like really hard to take for some people to hear when they initially start with me. I'll see videos of them training, and I'm like, I kind of challenge the intensity that they're training at. And I'm always like, look, with all due respect, like, I think you've got way more in the tank and you're stronger than what you think you are.
Yeah.
Because you're stopping, like I've set you a 2 RIR or a 3 RIR. Gun to your head, if I was there with you, you'd probably get another 5, 6, 7, 8 reps out.
Yeah.
So people think that they are training hard, but you point it out to them and hopefully they're able to see what training hard actually looks like. And it's like, oh, I have got more in the tank. I just need to believe in myself a bit more.
Go 3 plates?
3 plates.
Yeah. What would your advice be for the viewers if they're like, how do I know if I'm training to failure or not? Like, how do I know what like 2 RIR is? What's 1 RIR? How do I establish that? And are there any clear strategies that you have that you could do?
When you're a beginner,
beginner or intermediate. Like, I think it's quite nice for all levels of people to have something in their repertoire.
No, I was going to say when you're a beginner, I think it's so hard to gauge because you've never, or most beginners have never actually taken a set to failure before. It's a true failure.
100%.
So I think to gauge a baseline.
Well, keep talking. I'll just warm up with this.
Do you want to hand off?
Nah.
To gauge a baseline, you first actually have to take a set to failure, so you know what true failure feels like, and then you can go from there. And when you do initially start training with RIR, you're going to be pretty shit anyway at gauging. So just practice.
Yeah.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself if you're not sure. But when you do get a bit of an idea, so I think 2 things that I look at, facial expressions is one.
Okay.
If someone's genuinely training hard, their facial expressions will change.
Yeah.
They'll grit their teeth a little bit more. They'll be panting a little bit more, be a little bit more out of breath. What did I have on last time? Was it 2?
20 and a 10.
Shall I put 2 20s on?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you can.
And then I think another really obvious one is seeing the breakdown in the speed.
Yeah.
So for example, the first rep is generally quite fast from if you use this machine as the example, from the chest to the top.
Yeah.
The rep's quite fast.
Yeah.
Then as you work closer to failure, generally most people's speed will start slowing
velocity
down.
drops.
Yeah, and essentially. I guess those are the 2 things that I'd look out for. What would you look out for? Anything?
No, it's like a clear indicator. I just get people to just gauge everything. So if I'm working like my bias, and for the context of the podcast, I'll always talk through my lens, which is powerlifting. And when I coach powerlifters, I'll tend to like explain the model of reps in reserve because I coach with like RIR, and I'll just be like, go to RIR, and then I'll bolster a lot of like technical nuance to that. So if someone's doing like a leg press and I want them to engage their hips in a particular way that will help their squat, I'll be like 2 RIR, really focus hard on output, but this is the focus on the technical aspect of the exercise. And if that really, really like breaks down, it's going to obviously inhibit the amount of force they can produce. But I use that as like a tangible indicator. So there's that. And then if people are really struggling with trying to find like where their output is, I'll just do an AMRAP. So I generally program between 2 and 3 sets on this sort of stuff and get people to push hard, and you'll see it now with us in a sec. And if they struggle, I might get them to just do one set and do an all-out AMRAP. So I'll be like, what was the weight you used last week? So for me last week, I did 3.5 plates. I'll be like, okay, one set, AMRAP it. And then I'll see and compare where it was. And then we can use the week prior as like, you did it for 4 reps and you said it was a 1 RIR. This week you did it for 8 reps to failure. So now we know that wasn't a 1 RIR, and now you understand like what pushing hard on that particular machine now feels like. And then over time, I don't do that with everything, but over time they start to understand what actual exertion is, and then it becomes a little bit more tangible then.
Yeah, and something really interesting you spoke about there about when you were taking some people in the leg press and you were talking about controlling the hips. I think there's 2 kinds of failures as well. There's technical failure and there's mechanical or muscular failure. We'll talk about them once I do this.
Go on in.
I think it's important for people to
lift off.
Yeah, go on, please.
3, 2, 1. Let's go. Nice. Let's go again. Nice. Yep. All the way through. Nice. Slow down. Good job.
Woo.
Sick, man.
That was, I think, 0 RIR. If I'd have gone 1 for more.
Yeah, perfect.
Ideal. So talking about like muscular or mechanical failure and technical failure. Technical failure is generally, I think, has got a place for it. So technical failure, from my understanding, is taking a set to failure, but you, I guess, let your technique go, your form go by around 20%, 30%, just to get those final few reps out.
Yeah.
We were doing it last week when we were doing hammer curls.
Yeah.
Where you're using a little bit of momentum, using a little bit of your back to get those extra few reps out. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Then I guess if you're applying that to things like squats, deadlifts, essentially bench, the risk to reward ratio, you've got to ask yourself, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth putting myself in a compromising position which could essentially, well, the risk to reward or risk for injury is a lot higher?
Yeah. It's like
Is there any need to do that?
Yeah, I like in terms of like failures like that. I think the more complex the exercise is, the less of that force reps you want. So like multi-joint compound movements, I wouldn't be forcing anything. Isolated machine work where like you've got the external stability of the machine and the focus is more output, I think it's fine. A couple of like lengthened partials at the end of an exercise is absolutely fine. I do it quite a lot, especially in this like final week of the block. I'll just push that a little bit harder and just try and like force overreaching and just force like my body to, incur more damage. So I'm going to deload next week so I can afford that. Right, no lift off. I'm going to go.
Okay.
Try and get 6 here. So this should be like 1 RIR, hopefully.
Cool. One more.
Again. One more.
Nice control.
I think we misloaded that.
Say again.
Yeah. Don't trust Dan. So
What,
when
10?
you're training with people, always check the weights because as soon as I did the first rep, I knew you misloaded it.
Why didn't you say?
Yeah, I did 3 plates last time, and I was like 3 plates in a 10.
I didn't
Rewind this back, and you'll see.
Imagine if I rewind it back and you haven't said it.
Well, if that's the case, I'll hold my hands up.
No,
You gonna go 2 plates again?
Oh, we got another set,
I
right?
got 1 more.
Oh, sound. Thought that was it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people wondering, why is he using these foam things at the bottom of the machine to help get them off? What's the thought process behind that?
So when I don't really have like the best range in that bottom position. So like when my shoulder's in extension here, so I'm a little bit bigger than Dan, only marginally.
All right.
Only marginally.
Don't rub it in.
Like that end range for me is quite like stiff and tight. So by having it sort of slightly out with the foam blocks, it gives me in a bit of a more advantageous position to get it up. And then once I lift it up, the blocks fall, and then I can like eccentrically load into that bottom position and control that end range a little bit better.
How important is it to control that end range?
I think really important. Yeah, really important. Especially because like, again, like the topic of this podcast is hypertrophy. If we want to really like force some hypertrophy in the pecs. So this exercise is really good, like incline machine chest press. There's a lot of range in that sort of like lengthened position. So like if we can like get a lot of a stretch there and then control it on the press, it means that we're not going to create any sort of compensations, and we can really get the pec doing its job here. That's the primary purpose of this drill, of this exercise. So we can control that bottom position and get the most out of it. So we always want to make sure like the form is good first and then add load to good form, rather than try and like, force load without good form. That's the definition of ego lifting.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's actually mad how many people just start adding before the technique's decent. Move well first, and then move well into load.
Yeah.
Right, ready?
3, 2, 1. Let's go then. Come on, let's go. Oh, all the way through. Keep pushing. Great job. Nice.
Oh, only got 5 then. Ooh.
Nice. 4 plates?
Yeah.
So 420s?
I heard that.
20s on, bruh. 20s?
Oh, wait, that got you. How go you, man? How go you?
4 plates. Strong.
I've never touched this before.
Well, you never done 4 plates?
Not on this, no. I feel like I've done. I felt like I did 3.5 last week. Man, you could jump on it. He'll move the camera.
Crack on, bro.
I feel like I did 3.5 last week for like 6 to 8. I don't think I've done 4 before. And given that it's final week of the block, perfect time to push, eh?
Yeah. Do you want to lift off?
Nah. That's what, I'll just use the blocks for that.
Come on in. How many are you going for?
No, alright.
Okay.
Try and get 6, but we'll just go to failure.
Okay. Go on, Joe. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Nice. I thought you were going to try and go for another one then.
Absolutely not. That was so much heavier than 3.5. So much heavier.
Good effort. What have we got next?
Viking press.
Oh, cool.
Just more pressing.
So you're doing chest and shoulders in the same session?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Away from the bro.
I thought it was meant to be just, you only train one muscle group per session.
I know. I love that though, because like some of the old school bodybuilders did that and got like freakishly big. So it's quite hard sometimes to be like, well, the modern science suggests that this is not optimal.
Yeah.
And you look at like Dorian Yates and like Jay Cutler, who like trained like that throughout their career and got yoked.
Yeah.
And it's like,
We'll carry on this we'll move these and then we'll carry on the conversation of the space lifters. An old school clan. They both hate each other, both take the piss out of each other.
Yeah.
Science based lifters take the piss out of old school guys.
Yeah. They both have a place. Like I think it's like pros and cons to both. Like a lot of the science-based people can be like, oh, I've overreached my MRV. I had 7 hours and 58 minutes sleep instead of 8. Therefore, I'm suboptimal. So I need to auto-regulate down. And
Yeah, literally got a fucking dictator on their wrist in the form of a whoop band, telling
Yeah.
them when they should train.
You're tired. They wake up and they're like, "Oh, I feel amazing today," and then their whoop says, "Take it easy." I'm like, "Oh, I'm knackered."
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Straight in
Yeah,
in their own head.
It's a lot of that. And then the old school guys will just be like, train hard, push hard. And I think that's so refreshing sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to like remove all of that sort of like bias of like what is like optimal and what not. And it's just like, well, today I'm training, like the old school guys will be like, I'm training chest. And this is what I did last week. I'm going to do more. And it's like that sort of like
iron will mentality, isn't it? Like, I don't care how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lift more.
Yeah.
Like, fuck my feelings.
Today is Monday. I train chest on a Monday.
Yeah.
Last week I did 3.5 weights. This week I'm doing 4. And it's like, it's all predetermined. Like there's no other considerations. And if they're not feeling good, they just put themselves in a mental place to fucking force that to happen. Something quite refreshing of that. So let's just meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, that's
you're
the way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The middle, though, is very blurred in the fitness industry, isn't it? You're either black or white.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are in the middle, then like no one listens to you because you're not extreme enough. You haven't got a.
Yeah. You know,
We talked about it before, didn't
Yeah.
we? You know, like you have to have like a really strong bias and a really strong opinion on something.
Yeah.
See you, mates.
Yeah,
Take
see you,
care. And it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
Why do you have to have these? Why do you have to think in black and white?
Yeah.
Why do you have to be extreme? Why can't you just meet in the middle and say, let's adapt whatever we're trying to do to the individual in front of us?
Yeah.
If that means going keto because for whatever reason he thinks he's gonna respond better to keto, then let's lean into that. You know, like I'll know he'll probably respond way better eating carbs, but it's just some.
I think like Gandhi is that. I think a lot of the times people forget we're humans, we're not robots, and like sometimes like optimal changes, like it changes based on like psychology. I'm so big on that at the minute. Like with my coach, we're coaching sort of the more advanced athletes. Loads of coaching comes to emotional control. They'll want something huge, or they'll want to push for something huge. They'll have that dog in them, and they'll just want to like do anything at all costs to achieve it. Or they'll want to like do something or try something. And sometimes if you just like, if you might know, sort of like logically and I don't know, even just like hypothetically, that it may not be that beneficial, and there's other things that they could be doing that's more beneficial. But because they've got so much want to do this thing and try this thing, it's worth going slightly suboptimal with them having that super heightened arousal to do that, because it means that they're going to feel a particular way. They're going to put a particular amount of effort into it. And then that suboptimal becomes more optimal because of that sort of like tenacity to perform or that tenacity to try and make something work. I think that's really powerful at the minute.
Yeah, I've got a really interesting story actually. I went to a seminar before with this well-known nutritionist, and he was just talking about how he was basically saying, is it a bad thing if you give a client a supplement that doesn't actually do anything, but they think it does? That was kind of the debate that was going on. And I was all for it. I was like, if you, because I've had clients before who have come to me, I think they've, for whatever reason, they took it upon themselves to take a supplement. I think one of them was AGF1 by PAS supplements. Have you heard that? And he was like,
test boosters.
Yeah, natural test boosters. I was like, looking at the ingredients, it was 3 or 4 ingredients. And none of them were really backed by evidence that they actually did do anything for testosterone. But in his head, he was like, I think that he is doing something. I feel like my workouts are.
Amazing.
I was like, cool, lean into that.
Yeah.
If it really helps you, then who am I to say, oh, it didn't do anything, mate.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, just lean into it. No, I'm going to do a 10 on it first.
Yeah.
I got pussy
I
shoulders.
mean, no, 100%. There's so much like of that on films and stuff, isn't it? Like put this, like drink this. Oh, what was it? The Space Jam. Remember that?
Do you know what? I haven't actually watched Space Jam.
You're joking.
Genuine.
You mental?
No, I've seen clips of it, but I've not sat down and watched it properly. It's one with Michael Jordan, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to
Looney
watch
Tunes
it.
thing.
Yeah, I need to watch it properly.
Towards the end of it, they give them this like.
How many am I going for?
Again, like 1 RIR to failure.
Okay.
They give them like like the monsters have this thing. I can't remember it so long ago. I won't butcher the story, but they basically have this thing, and it makes them like massive and strong and super talented and all this sort of stuff. And then the Looney Tunes are like, oh, we can't compete with that. Nice man. The Looney Tunes are like, we can't compete with that. So then Michael Jordan gives them just like water, but he says this super special like thing, and they come out and they start playing Unreal. And they're like, oh no, we've run out of it. And he was just like, no, it was nothing. It was just all you. And then they get this self-belief. So like, is that, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Like, that is placebo.
Self-belief, placebo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what was really interesting? I read something online yesterday, I think it was. And it was a study that they did on
Keep talking, I'll do this. My
aging men. So I don't remember what the age range was. If I had to guess, it was like 70 to 80-year-olds or whatever. And what they did is they created a fake, hypothetical, I guess, set that had all of the things that they had growing up. So the magazines, music that they used to listen to back when they were in their 20s and 30s, right?
Yeah.
And they built the set so that everything looked like life 20 to 30 years ago to them, or a bit longer than that. So, and what they discovered was that they started feeling younger. They started to believe in themselves a bit more.
Yeah.
Just because they were put in an environment where they felt younger.
Wow.
And it just goes to show that when people start aging, they start saying, they put limitations on themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
So things like self-belief is just so powerful. But we're conditioned, aren't we, to, as adults, we hear from other adults what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
If you go to a playground and you're with a kid and you're at the top of the slide with them and you go in, they're at the top and they're like, oh, I don't want to do it, I'm scared. Adults don't go, most adults say, no, come on, you can do it, right? You will never see a kid in that playground telling the other kid, like, you can't do it.
Yeah.
But it's only as we get older then we put limitations on ourselves, either from other people or we hear it online or whatever. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like
weird.
the average becomes the absolute.
Yeah.
You know,
And the average is very low these days.
Yeah, our average in the UK is terrible.
What do you mean by that?
Embarrassing. It's the average person's ability to do stuff, like
No
fitness
initiative.
related health and stuff. It's just so poor.
Yeah.
Like
Very
for
low
example-
agency. Have you read that article? High agency and low agency?
No.
I'll have to send it to you. It's amazing.
I'll tell you this story, right? So, like viewers, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I get like health screens and stuff. And a part of like, one of the health screens is like retinopathy. So I get the back of my eyes done, and it's basically like high blood sugars can affect like the veins and the supply to the back of the eye and can cause glaucoma and make you blind and all this stuff. It can affect your health. Anyway, or affect your vision rather. Anyway, so basically, it affects type 1 and type 2 diabetics. And when I was in the hospital, nice man, push. Here we go. That's proper noir.
Have we got another set?
No, that's the
Oh,
just 2
fuck
weeks.
that. Thought I fucked that then.
So the last time I went, my appointment got cancelled twice, and eventually got to go. And what used to be like a 2 to 3 day a week, well, no, I think it was 2 day a week surgery, became a 5 day a week surgery, just due to the sheer volume of like people needing to get their eyes screened. So then I said to the guy, I was like, oh, like, are you low on staff, and like, how come it's been like inconsistent? And he was just like, there's been a sheer rise in type 2 diabetics in Wales, and as a result then they have to get screened. So the demand then has gone from 2 days a week to 5.
Yeah.
2 days a week to 5. And he was just like, we're really struggling to basically make sure that everyone has their appointment. And it's just like the decline of health and the increase in diabetes is staggering.
I don't know much about diabetes, but from my understanding, type 2 is not genetic, right? It's self-inflicted in a way.
Self-inflicted, generally like lifestyle driven. So basically people are sort of too sedentary and eating too much shit essentially, and they become insulin resistant. So their body can't produce enough insulin to onboard the amount of like glucose that their body's metabolizing. And as a result then they get all the high blood sugar symptoms and elevated HbA1c and that. Whereas like type 1, which is me, is just like autoimmune. I got an illness, it attacked my pancreatic cells, and then my pancreas just doesn't work, so I'm insulin dependent then, like through injections and whatnot. So like type 2 can reverse, type 1 can't, and the people that can reverse it are just not. they're just relying and leaning hard on NHS resources and medication and whatnot, which is like staggering.
It's like the tablet culture, isn't it? It's like, do you want to fix it yourself or do you want to take this?
Yeah, root cause or mask.
Yeah. This one, no work required. You just take a tablet. This, you move to work, but you'll never take a tablet again. But it will take a good few months of working hard, changing your life, changing your habits. I'll take the tablet, please.
Easy way.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's good because then we profit off it as well.
Yeah.
Our GP's a business.
Yeah,
so
pharmaceutical companies are like this.
Yeah. It's really sad because I think most doctors and GPs genuinely do have people's interests in mind.
Yeah.
But they're so understaffed.
Yeah.
I think the average amount of time that you get to see with your GP is about 8 minutes. You're not going to change someone's life in 8 minutes. You're not going to change their behaviours. You're not going to change their habits. But people hang their hats on doctors as if like they're these people who can change them and like.
Yeah.
But they haven't got the resources. They haven't got the time.
Yeah.
They're not able to. That's why we've fucking got a job essentially.
Yeah.
But then
It's quick enough to write a script,
yeah.
mask a problem, and then people just don't want to change, man. It's like that culture change. It's kind of like what you do as a GP, you're the best interest at heart for the person in front of you. And sometimes it's like, you've got to take this medication like right now, but these are the things you have to do. And then the person's just not going to they're not willing to do the things that they need to do to change it. They're like, well, I've got this on a repeat prescription now. My blood pressure was this, I was hypertensive, and now I'm in normal range. Taking this, I'm good.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking like, oh, I need to actually change this.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah, mad world.
Right, one more set.
Oh,
I'll
cool.
try and get one more set for me, but you've done 2 sets.
Yeah. Come on, Judd.
3.
Good job.
Give man another good set.
Come on. Nice. Come on. Oh, you done the one before? Nice. Very
It
good.
feels mad. So I think a lot of that sort of culture change now will be slow, but eventual. I think eventually people will start to change things, because like me and Brad were talking yesterday, and we were looking at like these businesses that were for sale, and like 30% of the businesses were pubs.
Wow.
Yeah. So like that culture's changing.
Yeah. Gen Z are pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I think I actually, you know, like historically, older generations have looked at the younger ones and almost slagged them off in a way.
Yeah.
I think Gen Z, what have we got now?
Single arm pull downs?
Yeah, cool. We'll carry this over there. Which one are you doing it on?
We've got here.
Yeah?
Um,
Yeah, do you want to put
I'll
it
just
there?
go. I'll fix it like this.
You don't mind being on camera, do you guys?
Yeah, you're right.
Legend.
Just fix my head.
Look
So
beautiful.
it needs to be made. I just wear a cap and cover my hair, or lack of it.
The run club looks mental busy, Biz.
See this.
Let's go. Come on, big ball.
I'm just gonna get my strap, my grips a sec.
Yeah, no worries. Yep.
One more set.
No worries.
Sweet, cameras roll.
Running through the screen.
No pressure.
So we basically felt through the outside. And it was fun at the time. Like, I finished the part, and then it was like, it keeps just
Nice.
and we were at festivals, so everyone's like really pissed in the night. So, like, really shooting. We got before that, I was sleeping on the floor this time, and I was like, actually, this is really
Go on, I'm with you.
came home. Pepper gave me a
Go. Go on, yeah, it's good set.
Good effort.
Well done, mate.
And 2 days later, it was like still shit.
And you?
That guy's strong, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you want to show the viewers the wraps that you've got, and you can put a little shameless plug here then for the strength shop.
I will.
I was actually thinking, you know, when we do our podcast there, we should take that and try and hang it up a certain way,
Yeah, can do.
just so that we've got something with like the strength shop in the back.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Cool.
good.
I
Nice.
think it'll be quite cool.
Yeah.
I'll speak to them and see if they can give us something extra.
Yeah,
And they're pretty good. They're like the best sponsor.
nice.
Actually, we got a competition this weekend, as you know, and they've sponsored all the prizes, giving like hundreds of pounds worth of prizes for people. It's so good. And
Nice.
they're just like, yeah, cool. Giving all our juniors, we're running like a junior flight. So I'm really big into grassroots lifting and grassroots sports. And the juniors, we do a junior development program here at Zero, and we've got them doing the competition. And Strength Shop, thanks Strength Shop, have given them little goodie bag prizes, and then we've got prizes for first, second, and third.
So
that they
nice.
put up. Amazing, great brand.
Nice. Fair play.
But yeah, I use these grips. These are like straps, but they're just in the form of grips. So you just like wrap them around and then hold on like this. And then you can do your rows, you can do your pull downs. I just find it's much better for execution, which I'll hopefully be able to show you. Want me to go first or you?
You go first. Show me the ropes.
Show you the ropes.
Oh, look at those lats.
I'm trying.
I'm going to a sauna after this to live, light, love.
Oh, you?
Do you want to come?
I got work. I thought I would have.
It's at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I got clients. So with this exercise, I'm really big on like range, so like end range. So with it being like a single arm pull down, I'm trying to like reach up and protract, and then I'm trying to depress and then lift my shoulder, so my shoulder really translocates down. Because again, my powerlifting bias is that that's a part of the scap and shoulder position that can get lost if you don't do accessories. So when we do the accessories, we make it count from like a range focus, and then really bias that. So it's still heavily around about pushing hard, but I'm really conscious of range up here and down here.
And what does this translate over to, Jord? What kind of movement would you benefit from?
Wow, give me a sec. Otherwise I'll be breathing down the mic.
You never know. Some men might like that. Bit of breathing.
Next set then.
Maybe women too. I don't know.
So like when you low bar squat, the shoulders will be in like relative depression. When you do one of these,
Please.
when you do a bench press, you're pulling your shoulders down towards your waist, and a lot of the times under load, your shoulders can elevate. So it gives quite a nice little like element of strengthening that position under load, and then you can scale it back up and cue it into those like main lifts. A lot of the time as well, like when people deadlift, your shoulders will be like forward like this, because if we can pull the shoulders down, we can tighten the upper back, shorten the lever between the bar and the hip, make for a stronger structure.
Nice.
Nice, man.
Oh, you can really feel the stretch
Yeah,
when you extend.
a lot of length.
Yeah.
So while Stan's doing this, I'll just explain what we've done so far and like the purpose behind it. So we've done incline chest press machine, which is like, for me as a powerlifter, like replaces bench press. So it's like a secondary bench, but because I'm in like a general phase of training, I'm focusing really hard on hypertrophy and output. So a bench press is like the skill of the sport. It's like the lifting, powerlifting. A chest press machine, it's the same muscles, and we can tax them through greater range, and we can put a little bit more stress through them so you can get a better hypertrophic response. So given that I'm in this general phase, it seems to have more applicability. So that's my quote unquote bench press of the day. Viking press then, I've been using that the last 10 weeks because I'm focusing really hard on output for overhead. And I'm not doing it fresh because I've obviously pushed hard on the incline. So I sacrifice a little bit of load, but there's still quite a lot of stress going through the shoulder and overhead range. It's just really good for like shoulder health and overall shoulder health. I just wanted to load that hard, and who doesn't want juicy shoulders, eh?
Yeah.
And then now we're doing single arm pull downs. So the first two exercises,
They're awesome, by the way.
yeah, they're great, aren't they?
So good.
The first two exercises are all about like pressing output through both planes. Now these two exercises is more like what I call like sort of supportive stress. So supporting the shoulder positions and getting the shoulders and scaps to move in a way that supports the main positions of the bench press. So we're doing single arm pull downs, focus of range and load. A little bit heavier on this next set. And then after this, we're going to do a chest supported T-bar row. So then we've got horizontal pressing, vertical pulling, horizontal pulling. So that's where we're at so far. And 2 sets of everything.
2 sets.
Oh my God, that's not enough volume.
Yeah. Wow. One thing I will say though, and I wanted your opinion on this. I think it'll be probably similar to mine, but I think sometimes when people will see this and maybe go, they're only doing 2 sets, right? I think when you're starting off, I think there's an argument to say that you should probably be doing more than 2 sets per muscle group per session, and obviously more in the week.
Yeah.
I'll just let you finish. So I think some people, like, let's say we're like on level 10, for example. Most people starting off at level 1 do probably need to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I think a good comparison that people will understand is, do you remember playing the game Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
San Andreas? Oh, sorry, was it San Andreas? I think it was San Andreas. Do you remember playing that game?
Yeah.
Where you had your character at the start, and like you could only sprint with him for like 5 seconds, and then he'd be fucked. But then you'd take him to the gym, and then his stamina would increase, his muscle mass would increase. And it's almost like then when he was at level 10, when you were like halfway through the game, you didn't have to take him to the gym anymore because his stamina was all the way up. He'd maxed out his muscle mass.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have to, when you're starting off, do the grind that we've already done.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes it annoys me when people are like, oh, you only need to do 2 sets per muscle group when you're starting. And I think it's an argument to say you can, but I think you'd get way faster gains by doing a lot more when you're starting off, because you are going through that newbie phase, newbie gain stage.
Yeah. So for me, it is definitely circumstantial. Like, if you're a beginner and you're limited on time, do biasing more intensity than volume will be good.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they'll give you like adherence and make you stick to the plan. If you're new, inexperienced, then you're limited by coordination. You're limited by like motor control. You're limited by your body's ability to produce force in a position because it hasn't learned how to produce force in that position. And as a, no, you use that.
Oh, no.
No, use it. Use it, it's fine.
Okay, so I
It's
thought
all
you
good.
were videoing then, so it's
Oh, we are.
No, we are.
But you can.
Yeah, it's fine. Just
casual.
use it.
It's casual. You're fine.
Do you want to make an appearance, Nick? On
Yeah. You say hi to the viewership.
That's why I went, oh, fuck.
No, you're good. Yeah, it's because you're limited by your ability to produce force, because you haven't been exposed to these things. You're going to be capped on fatigue, so you're not going to produce as much fatigue. So how do you buffer more fatigue? Do more, which is where beginners need to do more, because they can then, induce this level of fatigue that they can adapt to. You'll see that every exercise that Dan and I have done when we've had it as a working set has been 0 or 1 RAR. So we pretty much push things to failure. So as a result of that, we're inducing a lot of fatigue. Like, my chest is fried, my shoulders are fried.
My back's fried.
Yeah, I don't really want to
Like fried
do any
chicken.
more complex pressing right now. So if I just do 2 hard sets like this, then this is going to be like adequate. Because then I'll just give it another exposure on Monday. Today's Thursday. I'll give my upper body another exposure on Monday. And I would have been recovered by then for me to push hard like this again. So
You have to leave for 24 hours minimum though before you train the next body part, don't you?
it's like 2 to 3 days, isn't it, for like full recovery for the muscles.
Yeah. But it's not. It's just like,
Yeah.
if you can only train Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday,
Yeah.
just don't worry about that, mate. Just fucking crack on. You know.
Yeah, and we'll consider that in your programming.
Yeah.
Chest support T-bar row
Yeah.
next.
Let's move these over. How much
You
you
there,
put?
cameraman?
Yeah, looks good. Cool.
Pardon?
Why are you whispering?
Opener.
Yeah, bench 60.
Yes, yeah. Hook two.
Cool little tip there.
And I'll explain that now. I'll go 2 plates. Start with 2, and then I'll go up to 4, and then 5.
Yeah. You using the straps for these?
Yeah, but not for this set.
All right.
Yeah, so with this machine, I like to straddle it.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like this is a stronger position for me because I can push my calves into the back. It's a little bit more stable. And then because we're loading the front of it, putting a plate on the foot plate just stops it from flipping. See you, Piney.
Bye, Penny.
So we just do a warm-up set first just to feel the movement.
That's really interesting. I love putting my thumbs over. I don't know why.
Like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I much prefer it.
I do that on certain things as well, like pull-ups that I never do, but I did used to do.
Yeah. How many pull-ups do you reckon you could get out now?
I did it the other week. I did 10 if I'm comfy.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really? What, chest to bar?
Yeah.
That's
No,
impressive.
not chest to bar, eyes over bar.
Right.
So definitely sacrifice a bit of range. I don't know if I can even do chest to bar. I don't know if I've got that range. Yeah, so this variation I've put in the program again for the last 10 weeks. I've had it in quite inclusively, so that everything really. This variation I really like because the chest support allows for like a lot of output, and I quite like the feeling of like my mid back and lower traps. So we'll push hard on this. Can you chuck another plate on there for me, please?
Yep.
I might use this as my first working set. I'll see how the warm-up goes.
Yeah,
so
nice.
right now, the thing that like people need to consider as well when it comes to like training the same muscle group in a session, because you will do multiple exercises of the same muscle group, is like how like fatigue gets generated. I call it like volume stacking. So like right now, this is our 4th exercise. 2 of them have been pressing. This is the 2nd pulling, but I can feel my upper back is tired from like the single arm pull downs. So if I were to go into this fresh, I'd be able to do more, but because it's an element of fatigue, I won't be able to. So I'm just considering that, and depending on how fatigued I actually am, will depend on the load. So I'll use 4 plates now as like an indicator. Indicator being like whether I choose to use it as a working set or not. And we'll see. Hopefully it's not a working set and it feels quite light still, but if I've got too much fatigue and it has to be, then so be it.
Yeah, I think you make an interesting point there as well, what you just mentioned, like exercise selection is so important. We were talking about then about like doing pull-ups and how many do you think you could do? And I think a mistake a lot of people make is that if they want to get, say, better at pull-ups, they put them as the last exercise in their program when they're super fatigued and they're like, oh, pull-ups didn't go very well today, I only got 1 out. Well, yeah, because you fucking left it to as the last thing in your program where you were really fatigued. I think that goes with most things, right?
Yeah.
If you want to get better at something, you should probably put it near or at the start of the
You want
program.
to make it a priority.
Yeah,
Do it whilst you're mentally more engaged and physically more prepared.
yeah, for sure. You're going to have to get Strength Shop to get me a pair of these, Jod, if you're going to put them on the podcast.
For sure, man.
These and a belt.
Yeah, lush. Yeah, how many plates would you do now?
Pardon?
How many plates?
I'm going to stick with 3.
Yeah.
Same again, just one RIR?
Yeah, so like with this, I like to squeeze my mid back, and as long as I'm still getting a lot of stretch, a lot of length, and then I'm squeezing, and I'm pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think a real good coaching cue that you gave me before was not to use my lower back with this.
Yeah, stay over the bar, and then as Dan's shoulders translocate back, trying to squeeze in between his shoulder blades, almost like lift his upper back, not his lower back. The range is coming through his thoracic. Let's go. One more. Nice.
That was tough today.
Couple of little forced reps there at the end.
Oh, yeah, that feels way, because that's my secondary exercise. I generally do this first as my first pull. Just by doing 2 sets of that, already feel weaker at this,
And like,
which is normal.
And like if you want, like sometimes Dan might want to push this exercise and feel like this is going to be more important for his development in his back if hypertrophy is the goal than the single arm pull down, in which case then he'd probably switch him and do this as his first back exercise and then do the single arm pull down as his second. I'm doing single arm pull down first because when I bench, my shoulders have a tendency to elevate as I press off my chest. So scap depression and maintaining scap depression is the breakdown I want to improve. So then it just comes higher up on the priority with my exercise structure.
I know a lot of people are probably watching this as well and thinking, oh, they're doing push and pull in the same session. I'm doing push on one day, pull on one day.
Yeah.
I think people miss the forest for the trees when it comes to like a name of a program. They'll see something online like push pull legs or 5x5 strong lifts or 10x10, and they think that it's the specific method that's getting them these other people who are following the program's results. But there's always like an underlying principles that make a program successful or not, right? It's not the actual method itself.
Yeah.
Like we could create a program 6x6. Dan and George special 6x6 program, you know?
Just random numbers, 6x7.
Exactly, and it's like, oh no. And then most people go, oh, so it's the 7 sets and the 7 reps. That's what's getting me the muscle. It's like, no. Like, first of all, is adherence. Like, can you actually stick to this program? You'd be surprised how many men, I've literally had to tell a client off today. Yesterday, he was overeating on the weekends. I'd given him 3 workouts. He's been doing 5. And I've been like, he was like, oh, I'm going to do 5 again this week. I said, no, you're not. You're doing 3. That's probably one of the reasons why you're hungry on the weekend, is because you're doing more than what the program states, which means that your body's going to naturally crave more energy. You're in a deficit. Your output, as in energy, is more. So therefore, your body is trying to get more energy in through food. That's probably why you're feeling a little bit more stressed, hence why you're stress eating, taking on a bit more food. It's like if you're coming, and he was coming to me from off the back of doing nothing for months. So all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I'm going to do 5 sessions a week. What have you been doing before this? Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have to find an extra 5-6 hours in your day to get five workouts in.
Yeah.
If you're already a dad, if you're already someone who's pretty busy on their business, adds work and life stress into all of that. Don't do 5. Just go to 2. Do 2 consistently. Test the waters. You've got scope for 3.
200% more than
Yeah, exactly. Test the waters. Have you consistently hit 2 workouts a week for a month? Cool. Is there scope for 3? Maybe. Let's try it.
Yeah, nice.
If it doesn't work, revert back to 2 and 3. But yeah, going a little bit off topic there, but back to my point.
Yeah, I'll do this set and I'll tell you something about like that sort of bro split, push-pull legs. I think we've sort of touched on it briefly now here when I spoke about fatigue, but I'll explain my thoughts now.
Yeah.
Trying to do one more, trying to do 6 or 8 here.
That's fine. I just always see it as like building muscle, learning a new skill, because lifting weights is a skill. And the more you're exposed to a skill, the better and the faster you're going to get at it. And I see building muscle as learning or revising for an exam or learning a new language. The more you do it, the faster you're going to get at it. So I've been learning Spanish, doing Duolingo for the past however many months, doing it every single morning, right? And this is very similar when it comes to building muscle. You talked about it over there, about learning technique, learning a skill. The more you're exposed to it. And that's why I'm not a huge fan of single muscle training splits. They obviously works, but I think if you're relatively new and you're only training chest on a Monday and then having to wait another 7 days before training it again, you're missing out on a lot of learning time.
Yeah, I agree.
To improve the skill of lifting weights, improving your technique.
I think like I've only recently come away, obviously I do powerlifting, not bodybuilding, but I've recently come away from stacking like all my main chest stuff on one day, because like recently just like pecs take like 3 days to recover. And after that, you get a very micro level of like cell catabolism. So it's like, okay, they're ready to go again. So it's like, why am I waiting another 3 days when I know they can go again? So it's like, okay, let's try and spread that out a little bit more. So that's like a sort of like sciencey thing that's come to light. Also, like I just said, we did the single arm pull down. We generated quite a lot of fatigue. And then as a result of that, my stand can't push as hard on this. This was just a mean back day. If this was just like a mean back day, we would do exercise 2. We'd be pretty taxed in the back and not be able to then push as hard in the next exercise, which could be the dumbbell row, and the next exercise, which could have been like a cable row or cable pull down and stuff. And it's like, okay, you're then losing volume, losing intensity in like the subsequent exercises, which may actually reduce the amount of like hypertrophy that you can create. So by just splitting things up, pushing hard, getting a stimulus there, and then waiting for time to recover, and then hitting them again 3 or 4 days later, is probably a more optimal way of getting more hypertrophy into the muscles, because we know that like mechanical tension, proximity to failure, and range is going to be the thing that really helps with building muscle. So having that sort of structure means that you can get better quality and output through all of that. So I think it's important. So anyway, in terms of the program, we've done 2 pushing, 2 pulling, now we're training our arms.
Oh,
So next,
the most important muscle.
I know. So the next exercise will be an overhead tricep extension.
On the cables?
Yeah, we're going to do it on the cables. Actually, no. We're going to do a skull crusher. Actually, no. Sorry. I did that on...
Yeah, I like the cables. Stick to that.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I did that on thingy.
It's fine.
Tuesday. It was lush.
You done with this now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sound.
So let's do a traditional overhead cable push extension.
So with arms, do you, because obviously they're not that important for powerlifting, right? They are, but they're not.
Bro, I see them really important.
Do you?
Yeah, for more reasons away from just like big arms. Well, big arms is the most important thing to me ever.
I get, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'll backtrack, because that's a very stupid thing that I just said, because triceps are obviously very important for the bench.
But also just like hacking away from performance, like who doesn't want big arms?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I should have done that as session. Those exercises was it was that important.
Do you know what we should do? We should, in the next one, just do an arms session.
Oh, I'd love that.
Have you seen that clip of, what was that bodybuilder who passed away?
Oh, there's loads of them. Isn't there?
Rich Piana.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
No, carry on, man.
crack on, man. And he says something like, what are you doing for Valentine's Day? And he's like, I've got a 14-set arm workout.
Yeah,
Have you seen that? It's fucking mental. I'll have to get the clip up. Right, so that one?
Yeah, we're on this one here.
This one here, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
So at 0, we've got the luxury of all these nice little attachments.
Ooh.
So we'll use this one. I really like this one.
Myself and George recently just booked a holiday to me. Well, I say George kindly invited us to his, what would you say they are to you? What kind of relative?
My
Your
wife's auntie.
wife's auntie. So what is that? Your,
I don't know what they are to me.
No.
My wife's auntie. and uncle.
yeah, your wife's auntie and uncle have kindly allowed us to go to their villa in Mallorca. We should do a training. Let us know, guys, if you want us to do a training in Mallorca vlog.
I've done this before. Yeah, that'd be sick. Warm weather training.
I've started running again, George.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Enjoy it?
Yeah. I really enjoy it in the summer.
Yeah, nice. Can you just make sure these don't fall?
I'll try my best.
I just can't really bother getting the gym pin.
Wait, what, you've got a specific... Oh, they're going to fall, George, straight away. I can see it.
No, I'm going to be really slow. This is force of control.
Nice. So George is getting a nice stretch here on his triceps. Bending at the elbow. Notice all the movements are literally just coming from the elbow. Bending it at 90 degrees. Extending, fully extending. Squeezing his tricep at the top. Holding that for a split second. Great tackers, very controlled. Beautiful. What do you call this attachment then?
I don't know. I just like the look of it. The Vulcan.
The Vulcan.
Yeah, so I do overhead. So when Dan talked about like the importance of arm training, he's like, oh, it's not that important for powerlifting.
Which one do you use? That one or
This
that
is a
one?
smaller one.
Smaller one.
Yeah. So I'm huge on arm training for powerlifters because you can train the arms and bias things at the shoulder and at the upper back, the thoracic. You can shift around angles. So what I like about this is like put your ass on the cable machine.
Feels quite nice.
Push against it. So you've got like some support to push against. But this variation is really nice because his elbows are high, his thoracic's extended, and his shoulders are in flexion and slight ER. And then they go into slight IR and he extends his arm, same as when you bench. But more so just through the upper back and the thoracic. It's a little bit more open. So when you're like really bending the arm like that, and lifting your chest up and out, you get a lot of that thoracic extension. A lot of people miss that when they train. Just because most people are like this, and they're like rounded forward like this. So I quite like that for this. Another one as well is like when you train biceps, training your biceps when your shoulders are in extension like this. And again, really good for opening this up, really good for getting like the bicep tendon as well.
Do you want to show them what you were doing then from the side so they can see?
Oh yeah, so like
when you're
having
training,
the load like behind you here, so imagine having that cable behind me here, me opening up and then doing curls like this. The load is pulling that way, my shoulder is back here, and then I can curl from that position. It's super powerful for keeping your upper back and shoulders quite healthy when you're doing bench press and squats.
and also it's a really nice stretch on the bicep as well when it's
yeah.
behind your body.
It's lush.
And your elbows
lush.
behind your
It's
hip.
It's just less loadable. So, like I said, I train biceps twice a week, and on my main bench day, which was on Monday, today's Thursday, I do that exercise, and it's quite light load. I do like sort of 12 to 15 reps, and I really focus on that end range, that like stretched position. Today, I don't focus on that. I focus on output, so pushing a little heavier. So I do heavy hammer curls, which you'll see in a sec. So changing up the focus of the arm training.
So guys, I think let us know if you've enjoyed this new style of podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it. Myself and Jord had a sit down 2 weeks ago and we just looked at what we were doing, how we could make the podcast better, because ultimately that's what we're here to do, is to, I guess, help educate you guys, help you as much as we can, and to entertain. Hopefully you find it entertaining. Today's been a learning curve for us, trying something new. We're going to test it for a few weeks. So your feedback is really important because it will allow us to know whether or not you want us to continue with it. And if we do, we'll just alternate between the sit-down ones and these ones every other week. So let us know. Hope you enjoyed it. And feel free to reach out to us on socials. Awaken with Dan. What's your socials?
I don't know.
Jordan
Jordan_Hellier.
Jordan_Hellier.
Yeah.
And if you want us to cover a specific topic, DM us.
For sure.
See you in the next one.